right, we are going to do 2-2 today, exponents and powers of 10. Okay, first thing it says, study these number sentences. It says 10 to the power of 2 equals 10 times 10 equals 100. Okay, this exponent, this little number right here is called an exponent. A number that's smaller than the 10 is called an exponent. That is going to be a huge number when it comes to solving these problems. This number tells you everything. Okay, this 2 tells you everything. First of all, it tells you how many 10 times 10s you're going to take times each other. So since we have a 2 here, we take 10 times 10, we do it twice. Okay, and then you add when you take that, it's going to tell you how many zeros you're going to add in on your problem. Okay, so if I have 10 to the power of 2, first thing it's going to do is going to tell me to take 10 times 10, because we have that 2, and then we're going to put our 1, because it's a base power of 10, and we're going to add 2 zeros. That 2 in this exponent right here is going to tell you how many zeros you have to add. This one, 10 to the power of 5, we have 10 times 10 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then it's going to tell you put your 1 in there, and then it tells you how many zeros you add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that exponent tells you everything when it comes to solving your problems. We're going to do a couple examples today where you're going to get you'll get a chart, and you have to fill out the chart according to the exponents. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that so that you knew that, because that is going to be key to understanding your assignment today. First thing we have 10 to the power of 6. Let's actually go back. 10 to the power of 6. How many times are we going to times 10? Well, this 6 right here is going to tell us. Okay? So we're going to do it 6 times. So we go 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 6 times. And then what does that equal? Well, if you look at this and you're like, well, I don't know what 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is. All you do is you add your 1 in here, and then you add how many zeros. This 6 tells you how many zeros. So you're going to put 1 and add 6 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 to the power of 6 is the same as 1 million. Okay? So that exponent, very important. Okay? So that 10, the exponent is the little number up here. So if I ever say, write me an exponent of 7, you know that your 7 is the little number that goes up on the right side of the 10. It's the small number that you write up above it or right next to it. Okay? The base is your base 10 unit. Okay? Your base is your 10 that we're using. So we're using base 10 units for this. Power of 10, your power of 10 is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So here we have our base. Here we have our exponent. And then here we have our base, or power of 10, excuse me, power of 10. Okay, and then if we go down, we have exponential notation. Exponential notation is also this right here. 10 to the power of 6, all that combined is exponential notation. The reason why I'm telling you this, because in your chart, what you're going to see in a minute, you're going to see all of these terms in your chart. You need to know what you need to write for each one of those terms. Okay? All right, let's look at our chart. On page 41, I'm going to write this up here so you see it. Page 41, you're going to fill out this chart. Okay? They give you the exponential notation for this one. For the very first one, the rest you have to do on your own. You're actually going to come up with your own. You write your own numbers down. We're going to do one as an example so that you can see what I mean. So we have 10 to the power of 6. So without looking, what do you think you need? How many tenths are you going to times by each other? Remember that this exponent tells you. If you said 6, you're correct. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you times 10 6 times. Okay? Your answer is going to be just, you add your 1. The reason why we add our 1 is because we have our 1 here. We're doing powers of 10. You add your 1, and then you put 6 zeros behind it. That exponent tells you how many zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 to the power of 6 is the same as 1 million. Okay? Products of 10 is our 10s times each other, and our standard notation is just how we write our number out. Remember we talked about standard notation yesterday. Okay? This chart is what we just looked at in our last slide. That's why I showed you those different parts of the exponent so that you can see what each part is. So exponential notation is the 10 with the exponent. Product of 10s, how many times are you going to times the 10 together? And that exponent tells you that. And then we have our standard notation where you actually write the number down. Okay, I'm going to make one up. Let's do 10 with an exponent of 4. Okay, so we have 10 to the 4th. That's how we say it, 10 to the 4th. Okay, that exponent's to the 4th. Okay, so how many times am I going to times 10? Well, I'm going to look at my exponent. We have a 4 here. So I'm going to times 10 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my product of 10. I have 4 of them because I have a 4 in my exponent. Okay, now I'm going to add my 1. How many zeros am I going to add? This exponent tells me I'm going to add 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go over 3 zeros, add my comma. 1, 2, 3. So 10 to the power of 4th in standard notation is 10,000. Okay? Now what you're going to do, you're going to do the last 2 on your own. You can write any exponent you want. Do 1 through 9 for now. We'll do bigger exponents later. But you can choose any exponent 1 through 9. Okay? So choose 2 different ones. Fill out your product of 10. Write your standard notation. Okay? So that is that lesson. Also on page 41, you're going to see something like this, where you have 3 times 10 to the power of 2. When you solve 3 times 10 to the power of 2, what you do is you take the number that is timesing by the power of 2. So I write my 3. I write my 3 over here because I'm taking 3 times 10 to the power of 2. Then what you do is you add how many zeros are in your exponent. My exponent is 2, so I'm going to add 2 zeros. So 3 times 10 to the power of 2 is 300. Okay? If I have 5 times 10 to the power of 7. Okay? I write my 5, because that's what I'm taking, times my 10 to the power of 7. I look at my 7. I have to have 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Go over 3, add my comma. Go over 3 more, add my comma. Okay? So 5 times 10 to the power of 7 is the same as 50,000. Or, sorry, 50 million. Okay? So that is how you solve those kind of problems. All right. Last thing. On page 41, you're going to see something like this. I just showed you the example of this one, but we're going to work the first 2 out because how they want you to write them in is a little confusing. Okay? So the first one they give you, they say 3 times 10 to the power of 2 equals 3 times 100. So 3 times 10 to the power of 2 is the same as taking 3 times 100. You're going to get the same answer. Okay, so let's write our 3 in here, and then we got to write how many zeros we need, which we have 2 in the exponent, so we got to add our 2 zeros. Okay, that one's not that bad. So 3 times 10 to the power of 2 equals 3 times 100, which equals 300. Okay, now let's look at this one. 7 times 10 to the power of 9 equals 7 times what? Okay, well, we got to look here because we got to take we don't write our answer yet. We got to look. They put 7 times 10 to the power 9 is the same as taking, or 3 times 10 to the power of 2 is the same as taking 3 times 100. So 7 times 10 to the power of 9 is the same as taking 7 times what? Well, we got to add our 1, okay? Just like they added 1 here, and we got to add how many zeros we need. There's a 9. Our exponent's a 9, so we got to add 9 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 7 times 9 is equals 7 times our answer here. Okay? Which is 1 billion. All right. Now we got to solve for it. So we got to take 7 times 1 billion. So let's put our 7. How many zeros we need? We look at our exponent. We have 9 zeros. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so 7 times 10 to the power 9 is equals 7 times 1 billion, which equals 7 billion. Okay, so that is how you solve for those problems. Okay, so you'll do the same thing for these. So page 41, work on that. After you get done working on that, what we're going to do is we're going to play a game today. The game you play today has to tie in with this. That is what is going to be graded, what I'm going to put in your grade book. All right, I will teach that as a whole class. Once you guys are in class, I'm not going to do it on the video. Okay, so you're going to come in, you're going to watch my video, solve for this, get page 41 done, then we're going to play the game, and then we're going to do a review from last unit, unit 1, where we talked about volume. We're going to do a practice page on that so we can refresh our memories and keep practicing with volume. Okay, so this is how you do this page. This page is not graded, but you need to know how to do it because next unit and the lesson and the lessons after that, all this is going to tie in together, and we're going to keep building off of this. So we need to make sure we know how to do this to do the next lesson. Okay? So that is powers of 10 and exponential notation. Number 6, let me get to that before I end the video. Number 6 is real life problems where we're taking exponents and we're tying in real life. If you read the directions here, the numbers in problems 1 through 5 are the answers to the following questions. Fill in each blank with your best guess. Write your answers in exponential or standard notation. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to look at number 5. So 1 through 5. You got to take those answers and you got to fill them in on number 6, A through E. So for example, the distance from the sun to the earth is about what? You got to look at your answers through 1 through 5 up above and determine which answer it's going to be. Okay? Then you look at B. The Statue of Liberty is about how many feet tall? You got to look back at 1 through 5 and see what answer would probably come close to how tall the Statue of Liberty is. Okay? So you use answers 1 through 5 to answer 6, A through E. Okay? I want you guys to know that. You don't have to try to look these up, find these answers. These answers are in from the problems 1 through 5. You got to use your best judgment, your best guess to determine which answer goes where.